Okay, so we are going to get started. We're gonna stay on the ground for a little bit. So at home, if you have a chair, you can sit in your chair or you can be on the ground. It's entirely up to you. We're gonna start on our backs just for a few moments and then we'll come into a seat. Okay. So if you want to lay down, you can lay down. If you're in a chair, just lean back into the chair. Just get comfortable. And if possible, if you are in a chair, if you can get down onto the ground, it's just really so beneficial to be able to get up and down off the ground. Okay. And let's arrive to your practice. So of course you can use any of the props I gave you, knee pads, blocks, and at home you can use whatever props you feel comfortable with. And we will just begin to settle ourselves. So sometimes in yoga, we talk about the midline. So if you were to cut yourself in half, going from the front to the back, not from left to right. So right down between the eyes, between the eyebrows, middle of the nose, down through the lips, middle of the chin, through the rib cage, hearts on one side, left side, going down, intersecting the belly button, and going down through the pelvis. You've got your left side and you've got your right side. And so that line where you cut, that would be your midline. So anytime you're bringing anything towards that midline, it's usually an exhale. Okay, we usually want to release. Okay, because we're squeezing ourselves together. And then whenever we are moving away from that midline, that is usually with any part of your body, that is an inhalation. Okay, so just take a few moments just to notice that now. Just where your midline is. And then anywhere along that midline can be where your center is. So when I talk about your heart center, it's not necessarily on the left side of your body at your heart. It's more on your midline, the center. So check yourself out on that midline. And begin to do a little scan of your body, just noticing how you're feeling. Remembering that your body speaks to you in sensation. So anything that you're sensing right now, and it doesn't necessarily just have to be from your physical body or what you feel necessarily. It could be picking up on your other senses. So what you're seeing, maybe as you move your attention inwards a little bit, what you're hearing, the space around you, but also what you're hearing inside you. So hearing yourself breathe, maybe the circulation throughout your body, your heart beating. You can use your other senses too, your sense of taste, your sense of smell. And then finally arrive at your breath. And just notice yourself breathing. And at first, maybe you just feel the oxygen moving, the carbon dioxide in and out of your nostrils. You can maybe feel the nostrils flaring. Maybe you can feel the breath moving through your body. Maybe you can pick up on some of that breath moving in other ways, maybe down your spine. Maybe you can feel each pore in your body breathing, opening and closing, opening and closing. And then maybe that energy that you're bringing in and exhaling out, maybe you can feel that energy moving around your body. Okay, let's take a nice big breath in. So fill yourself up as much as you can. You can take little sips of breath. You don't have to take one great big huge breath. Just little sips until you fill yourself up. And then slowly let it go. It can be out through your mouth or in your nose, whatever suits you the best in this moment. And then we'll do that one more time. Just fill yourself up, taking little sips at a time, feeling yourself expand, and then slowly let it go. Again, through your nose, through your mouth, whatever feels the best. Try to do a little bit slower. And then we're going to start just to move different parts of the body. So let's just start moving our heads in any way that seems right, intuitive right now. So just move your head, maybe side to side, looking over your shoulder. Maybe you lift it up and down a little bit. Just feeling the movement in the head, in the neck. You can take some time to pause whenever you feel like you need to maybe take a moment to pause. Remembering that a pause is not a gripping or a holding. A pause is just nothing's happening. It's like a transitional. Okay, and then relax the head. Open up the jaw, open up the mouth just a little bit and just release some tension in the jaw, in the chin, in the mouth. You can stick out your tongue. No one's looking at you. Wiggle your mouth around, wiggle your tongue around, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And then gently relax the mouth, the jaw. Maybe the tips, the lips are just gently touching. Maybe you feel your tongue floating. And then start to move your shoulders around a little bit. So however you want to move your shoulders, they could go up and down. They can just maybe twist around. Maybe you lift one up or in front view. Maybe you bring them back a little bit, lifting up the heart a little bit more. Maybe you get into those arms a little bit more because the arms are connected to the shoulders. So maybe those arms move a little bit. However they want to move. Just be aware of where you are and that you don't accidentally hit somebody in the face. Kind of feeling that energy that's around you. So just moving those shoulders however you see fit. They can move at the same time. They can alternate if you want. Whatever works the best in your body. And take notice. Notice what is what. And don't forget to breathe while you're doing it. You don't want to hold the breath. You can pause the breath if you want to explore that. But the pause is very calming and very, very peaceful. Okay, so let's give those arms and shoulders a little bit of a rest, and we'll head down into the hips, hip area a little bit, and just move those hips around. And they're attached to the legs, so the legs want to move too, you can. So however you feel like you want to move them right now. Maybe they go in little circles. Maybe you squeeze and release the glutes. Maybe you just move the hips from side to side. And of course, that's where the pelvis is as well too. So there's lots of movement there. Tilting up and down. And however you want to move those hips. And it might be little micro movements that you're doing too. They don't have to be big movements here. Spend a few more moments moving those hips, however you want to move them. Okay, and then we'll release those hips, we'll relax the legs, and let's just get into the feet, the hand, the wrists, the ankles a little bit. Well, you can do the hands too and the fingers. In fact, let's do both. Let's do both. Let's do those hands and fingers and wrists, and the ankles and the feet and the toes. However you want. Doesn't matter. Just get some mobility in there. And just notice what is what. I mean, everything's connected anyway, so we already know that. As you're moving, also notice that connection from your brain, not necessarily the mind, the brain to those fingers, to those toes. See if the connections are totally there. Okay, a couple more breaths. Okay, and then find stillness once more. So that might be, you might be standing, you might be lying down, you might be seated, maybe something else, but just find some stillness and just notice. Stillness isn't necessarily no movement or nothing's happening. You might still be able to feel the energy moving around you, your circulatory system, heart beating, blood moving, air moving. Okay, and then wherever you are, give yourself a little stretch. So bring your arms up behind your head, or as far as you have mobility, and stretch out those legs. And if you're seated down, maybe you just reach out one leg and the other leg. Whatever you do, just stretch yourself out. Think about stretching the spine. Good. And then if you are on the ground, you're going to roll over and you're going to bring yourself up into a seat. So up to you how you're seated, just as long as the spine is straight. Sit on a knee pad if you are putting a little bit too much weight into your lower back. So if the lower back is rounding and you feel that the top part of your pelvis is moving backwards, then sit on a knee pad and it'll help to tilt that pelvis. So you sit right on the edge of the knee pad. And then just sit up nice and tall. Just bring your hands down into your lap. You're sitting in a chair, you're just sitting in a chair with your feet planted onto the ground. Okay, and then go ahead and close your eyes. Reach the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. And just notice. Notice in this new position. Take a couple breaths here. Okay, so let's take those arms, reach them up. You can open up your eyes if you want to. Reach up, and we're going to side bend towards the right. Okay, so you can plant your hand or hold on to the side of your chair and stretch over. Make sure both hips, buttock, cheeks are onto the ground. And just feel that nice big stretch through that left side of the body. And then inhale, just let back up again. Reach, and then over towards the other side. And again, make sure that right buttocks is on the ground. Hold on to the chair if you're on the chair so you don't fall off the chair. Just take a moment to breathe and just noticing your range of motion through your arm, through your shoulder, through the side of your body. Okay, and then inhale, bring yourself back up. And we're going to do a little twist. So let's twist down towards the right. Just bring your arms down. Okay. So come into your twist, keep it soft. And as we stay here, you might want to go a little bit deeper, entirely up to you. So on your inhale, you lengthen. On your exhale, you might twist a little bit more. Try to feel balance where in your seat. So we have equality through whatever's touching the ground. Your head can go a little bit more if that serves you. Okay, and then inhale, bring yourself all the way back up. Rise, and then all the way over towards the other side. Keep it soft to begin with. And as we stay here, we can maybe go a little bit deeper. Maybe the head moves a little bit more. Again, find equality through whatever's touching the ground or your chair. Just breathe and notice. And then inhale, bring those arms all the way back up. And bring your hands down. Okay. Do a little shake with the hands. Maybe make them into fists. And open up the fingers. Fists as tight as you possibly can. And open them up. Shake them out. Do it one more time. Squeeze your hands into fists. Really good to work on this fist strength. And shake it out. Good. Okay, so you have the option, we're gonna do cow and cat. So you have the option of sitting and doing a cow and a cat, or coming into table. So either or, whatever works best for you. If you're on your hands and knees, use a knee pad underneath your knees for a little bit more support. So you're either seated on a chair or on the ground, or you're on your hands and knees, up to you, and then start doing your cows and cats. Okay, so your belly's going forwards and down into your cow, and then exhale, push the ground away, or the back is going towards the back of the chair or up towards the ceiling. And then just keep moving. And we're just feeling a movement in the spine.
Which one's the cow?
The cow is like that. So you'll lift it up and your belly's down or out. You're opening up through the heart, squeezing the shoulder blades. Yeah. And then as you exhale, you're rounding out your back. So whether you're seated or you're on a table, you're rounding out that back. So that's like a cat arch. Well, the cats do both of them. So I don't think I've ever seen, well, actually, I think I've seen cows do both too. So I don't know. Just feel that articulation of the spine, just moving up and down, up and down. Do a couple more of these. Feel free to go on your forearms if you want to as well too. Always
Should the shoulder blades come together with the
they can. With your cow, yes, your shoulder blades are coming together.
yes?
So
Thank
you're
you.
going towards, so the back of the body is going towards the midline.
Right,
The front of the body is going away from the midline. Okay?
right.
And that's doing the reverse when you're in your cat. So the back part of the body is moving away from the midline, and the front part of the body is coming together towards the midline. Good to notice that. Okay, we'll do maybe one more, and then we're going to come into a downward dog. So if you need to use the chair, if you need to use the wall, if you need to just use the ground, do whatever you need to do. So the toes are going to curl if you're on the ground, knees are going to come up, and you're going to lift your hips up. Don't worry if the knees are bent or your heels do not reach the ground. If you're on a chair, you're going to hold on to the seat of the chair and just walk back and push your hips back. If you're on the wall, if you're against the wall, you're just putting your hands on the wall, and then again, you're just walking back. Now, Gary, come up. Gary, come up, turn around. No, you don't want to. The downward dog. So turn around, put your hands on the back of the chair. No, put your hands on the back of the chair. No, stand up. Stand up. Turn around. Put your hands on the chair and walk back. There you go. Bend into your knees. Yes, and reach your hips back. There you go. Okay, so once we've done that, you're going to walk forwards, coming into a forward bend. Keep it soft. Okay, you can just hang out here. Your knees can be bent as much as you want to. And then slowly we're going to bring ourselves up. So if you were sitting in a chair and just doing a forward bend, you can do that too. It's hard when everyone's doing different things. But we're all individual people. We're all going to do different things, right? Okay. So we're going to place our hands on our hips, and we're just going to do a little bit of a back bend here. Now, when I say back bend, that doesn't mean you're going to hinge in your back. That's not where you hinge, okay? Your back doesn't like to hinge. Your back rounds, it curves, it makes a really nice curve. So all we're going to do is bend into the knees, and we're just going to push the pelvis forwards a little bit, and then just round out. So lift your heart up. Push down through your hands into your hips. Okay, so we're just rounding. So the back is rounded curves. And it doesn't have to be a lot. Okay. And then bring yourself back up to center. And then let's shake a little bit. So everyone's on their feet now. Even if you're using a chair, you can have the chair close by to create some stability if you need to use it for your balance. Okay. So let's stand in mountain pose. Hands down by your side. Okay, I'm just taking a few breaths here. Maybe close your eyes. Maybe you feel yourself going forwards and back, side to side a little bit. Okay, so we're going to work on these little transitions, moving from one thing to another. We've done this before, but we're going to add on a few things. So if you want to bring your hands towards your heart or on your hips, up to you. Your eyes can be closed or they can be open, up to you, depending on how your balance is. So we're just gonna shift the weight from side to side to begin with. And maybe there's a little bit of lift in one foot. Maybe there is, maybe they're not. And maybe the feet stay on the ground, but you shift the weight. So there's a little bit more weight into one foot than into the other foot. Maybe the foot lifts up. It's harder with your eyes closed. But it's good. Well, it's not impossible. You just have to focus inwards a little bit more. You have to find your center inwards instead of outwards. So if your eyes are open, focus on one spot in front of you. That will help to keep your balance. And if you want to close your eyes, focus as if you were looking towards your nose. That's always one that I use. And then you're able to find the balance between both feet. Okay. And now I'll come back to center. Good. Come back to mountain pose. Take a moment. And then we're going to go forward and back. So you're going to take your right foot and just bring it forward just a little bit. Your hands again can be wherever you like, at your heart, on your hips. Okay. And we're going to start to go forward and back. And maybe you lift up a heel or you lift up the toes. Try to stay upright as much as you can. So try not to hinge down. Nice long spine. If your eyes are open, focus on something in front of you. If your eyes are closed, maybe gaze at the tip of your nose inwards. So maybe now the whole foot comes off the ground. Maybe not. That's okay. You just do you. Just make sure how you're planting each foot, that you have stability before you lift up the other foot. These can be as bent as you like. Okay, one more time, this side. And bring your feet back to mountain pose. Take a moment. Okay, so let's bring the left foot in front now. I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Okay, hands can be wherever, eyes open or closed, and we'll just start moving forward and back. Make sure you're breathing. Okay, don't forget to breathe. Sometimes we're so focused and concentrated that we do forget to breathe. So make sure you're breathing. Just get kind of like a rhythm going. Okay, and then maybe one foot picks up, comes back, and then the other picks up. I'm going to get into more poses in the next few minutes. So find these transitions from one pose to another pose. Again, make sure that you're planting each foot. You can lift up the foot as much as you can, or as you want to. Don't worry about how bent your knees are, that's okay. A couple more times, and then we'll come back to mountain pose. Okay. Okay, let's just shake out a little bit. Okay, so before we transition from thing to thing, from pose to pose, thing to thing, we will come into
Senior moment.
True, exactly, a senior moment. God forbid. Anyway, okay, let's put our hands on our hips. Okay, we're gonna come into tree. So put the weight into your right foot and pick up your left foot. So it can be above your ankle. It can be on top of the other foot. It can be on your inner shin. It can be above your knee. Does not matter. Figure 4 if you want to, above or below the knee. Whatever seems right at this moment. Focus Just find your balance wherever that may be. Breathe. You can have an inner focus or an external focus. You can play around with that. Okay. And then put that foot down, shift the weight, and then come up onto the other foot, so left foot. Again, just move the foot wherever. If your hands don't want to be at your hips, they can be somewhere else. I mean, feel free to move them. And what you did on one foot doesn't necessarily mean what you're doing on the other foot. You might prefer to have that foot a little closer towards the earth or somewhere else. And if you need a chair for a little bit more support or the wall, just be close to a chair or the wall. Okay. And then let's bring ourselves back to mountain pose for a moment. If you want, you can shake out those legs. Okay. Take a moment. Okay, so we're going to shift the weight a little bit more now. Okay, so come back into that tree on the right foot. Hands can be wherever you like, whatever. Hands to hand, on your hips, above your head. And now go towards the other side. To the other side. Breathe. Now to the other side. Plant the foot, lift the foot. Don't hold your breath. Again. Plant the foot, lift the foot. Focus, focus. Do that one more time. Plant the foot, lift the foot. Last time, towards the left. Plant the foot, lift the foot. Excellent. Okay, come back to mountain pose. Shake it out. Shake out the ankle, shake out the feet. Okay, so now we're going to bring that right foot forwards. Okay, we're going to come into warrior one. We'll turn warrior one. Okay, so the back foot, that left foot is at 45 degrees. You're bending into that right knee. Okay, so your hip bones facing the front part of the mat. Okay, we're not twisted. We're not doing warrior two. Facing the front part of the mat. Okay, so your arms can be wherever you want. Okay, so I'm going to have my arms down and then I'm going to lift up. Okay, so if you want to copy me, go for it. If you want to do something else with your arms, you can. Okay, so we're going to straighten that front leg, bring the arms up, and we're going to lift up your heel. Then we're going to bring it back down again. Okay, so inhale. And exhale. We don't have to be in a hurry. Inhale. And exhale. Let's do that again. Inhale. And exhale. And then we're going to stay up here. Hold it here. Breathe. Okay. Let's bring our hands to our heart. If you have a chair in front of you and you want to hold on to that chair, talking mainly to people at home, you can hold on to that chair. And then we're going to just like lift up the leg and bring it down. Lift up the leg and bring it down. Up, down, up, down, up, pause. Oh. Down. Whoa. Up, pause. The toes can be touching, just mainly the weight is in that right foot. And down, and again, up. So when we can do this, we can get into warrior three. So if you want to try that, so come back into warrior one. And then if you want to do warrior three, It's again up, pause, bring the leg back. Arms can be wherever. And then back down again. Just go slow, take your time. Do any part of this you want, okay? So we can just do this. You know, we can do this. We can do this. And come back down. So let's play with that just for a few more moments, okay? Nice and slow. Up. Lift up the leg, doesn't matter. This is warrior 3, 2. This is fine. Or we can go a little bit more, up to you. And then bring yourself back down. Try one more time.
Okay.
Okay, go for it. I'll lift it up. And don't worry about your supporting leg. If it's bent, it's okay. Just find balance. Doesn't matter where that back leg is. Make sure you're breathing. And then bring yourself right back into warrior 1. Good. And then take a step forward, bouncy pose, and maybe shake it out a little bit. Shake, shake, shake. And then let's pause and find some stillness for a moment. Close our eyes. Equal weight through both feet. And take a moment and just take a little bit of reflection, just noticing how we did on that side, what's going on, how you're feeling, what you're feeling, why you're feeling, how you're feeling. All those questions that you can answer. Maybe, maybe not. Let's take a few breaths. Notice what they notice. Sometimes when we're doing these things, we draw tension somewhere. So notice where you put that tension. Maybe it was in the shoulders. Maybe it was in the fingers or the toes. Maybe we're biting your cheeks or your tongue. Or grasping somewhere in the jaw. Okay. Now let's move to the left foot in front and the right leg back behind. Okay, so warrior 1. Find that position, hips, hip bones are facing the front part of your mat and your knees bent. Okay, knees right over top of your ankle. So equal weight through both your feet, and then your arms can be up, they could be at your waist, they could be at your heart, wherever they feel good at this moment, okay? And just take some time to breathe there. This way so people can see me. This is for later when you review this recording again. Okay, so now we're going to lift up and down. Okay, so nice and slow. I'm going to bring my arms up, and I have a slight bend in my front knee, and back down. Okay, and up. So we're just shifting the weight, and down, and lifting up, and down, and up, and down. Okay, so now maybe we lift the leg up, hold it, maybe pause, and bring it back down again. And then we lift up, we maybe pause, and back down. Again, lift up, pause, wherever that may be, and bring it back down. And lift it up, pause, and back down. And then we can do it a little bit longer. Maybe the leg comes up a little bit more. And back down again. Just go at your own pace. Up. This is good too. And down. And let's do a couple more times. Just playing with it. And maybe for this last one, you can see how far you can go. But just wherever it is good. Okay, maybe you can go a little bit further, maybe not. And then back to your warrior 1. Bring the arms up. And we'll take a step forwards. Shake, shake, shake. Take everything out. Let's bring our hands onto our hips. And we'll just move those hips around. Everything's connected. We were just talking about that in the other class, weren't we? You think it might be one place and actually, nope, it's somewhere else, somewhere in your body. Either a little bit too tight, a little bit too weak, a little bit overly strong. Letting the rest of the body work. Okay, other direction. Okay, so back through center, back to mountain pose. And then our hands can be wherever you like again, either on your hips, with your heart up. I'm gonna start to shift the weight from side to side, but bring the leg in front, okay? And then we'll bring it in back. Okay, so let's shift over towards the left foot. It's usually the toughest one, and we're gonna bring the leg forwards. And maybe backwards. And then down. Okay, shift the weight into your right foot. Forwards, backwards, and down. Now our legs can be as high as you want, okay? You can even bring your knee in towards your chest if you feel inclined, okay? So you just do you, okay? So move into the left foot, leg can come up as high as you want, out as high as you want, back in, maybe it comes back behind you, maybe you bend the knee, just play around with it and bring it back down. It doesn't have to be as big as that, you know, you can just shift the weight, or maybe you just touch your toe. And touch your toe. And then bring it back. Remember to focus on something in front of you. Go slow, find your balance before you start moving into different plateaus. And do the other side. Again, explore. And just be curious on what you're able to do on one foot. Maybe you can bring your arms out. Just pause here for a moment. Or not. Up to you. Just explore. Make sure you're breathing too. Maybe you stay for a moment. And you either become really, really still, or maybe you can create some movement while you're in your stillness. So just going back and forth, and you're gonna start to notice that some things are gonna start to fatigue. So take a moment and take a break. Hold on if you need to. And we'll spend a couple more moments here. And feel free to move out of the way. And then return to your mountain pose, equal weight through both feet, close your eyes. Take a moment. Breathe. Okay, so you can either get down on the ground, you can stay standing, you can sit in a chair if you like. We're just gonna do some arm stuff. Okay, so up to you. I'm gonna stand up, but you don't have to. Okay, so we're gonna open up our arms into a T. I'm gonna bring our arms into eagle pose. So we're gonna take your right arm, you're gonna cross it over your left arm. Bend at the elbows, and maybe the back of the hands come together, or maybe you can wrap around a little bit more to bring the palms of the hands together. It does not matter. Okay, you can do one twist or two twists. Okay, up to you. So we're gonna hug those elbows in towards the chest. So you can feel your back moving. And so our shoulder blades are doing what? Going in towards the midline or away from the midline? Away, yes. And the front part of the body is going towards, yeah. Got it. So we should feel our backs open and our chest closed. Good. And then we're gonna unwind the arms, open them up nice and wide. And we're gonna bring that hands back behind us. This time we're going to hold on to the elbows. Okay, so we're gonna bring the right arm on top, left arm behind. This always feels weird, fake, this side. Anyway, something like that. Okay, we're gonna try to hold on to the elbows. If you can't, then holding on to the forearms or holding on to the wrists or just holding on to your hands, either or. But try to have the shoulders stay down and soft. And then again, now the heart is open. So we're moving away, exactly. And the shoulder blades are coming towards each other at the back, so they're going towards the midline. Good. Okay, then release those arms, bring the arms all the way up. Bend at the elbows, bring your arms into cactus arms. Good. Okay. So now try to get those elbows up in line with your shoulders. Spread out your fingers. And just take a look at your hands. You might have to bring your wrists back a little bit to go right over top of your elbows. Try to keep the shoulders down. Now, what's happening to your midline and your front body and your back body?
Back is going towards, front is going away.
Well, hopefully everything is going, yeah, exactly, kind of away from the midline. Everything should be moving away as much as possible. There's some balance there. Okay, inhale, reach the arms up, and then bring those arms all the way down. Good. Okay, one more side. Bring the arms up. This time the left arm is going to come over the right. So twist either once or twice, up to you. Okay, soften the shoulders, just squeeze those arms in. Just feel that back opening. Breathe. Equality through however you're seated or standing. Just breathe and just notice. Okay, and now we're going to open up the arms up wide and bring the arms back behind you. So this time the left arm is going to come on top of the right. Or you're going to hold on to your, so it's the right, the left is on top. It's fine. Like this. Okay. Well, it's because I was facing you. That's why I had to switch. Okay, and again, the heart's opening. Shoulders are soft. And we're breathing. Okay, release those arms. Bring your arms all the way back up again. One more time into our cactus. Our elbows bend. Just look at your hands, making sure the wrists are on top of the elbows. Elbows are in line with your shoulders. So get those elbows lifted. Spread out your fingers. Activate. And we're trying to pull the shoulder blades away from the midline. And we're still trying to have our chest wide open. And then inhale, reach the arms up. And bring them all the way down. We'll just shake everything out. And then we're going to make our way back down to the ground. Unless you want to be on a chair, which you can be on a chair, but we're going to do a twist. So lie down on your backs. You can get down onto your back. If you can't, then I'll show you a variation. So we're just going to bring those knees in towards the chest. If you're sitting on a chair, just bring one knee at a time towards the chest. Okay, so just give yourself a little hug. So using one knee when you're seated. or two knees if you're lying down. Of course, if you want to just do one leg when you're lying down, you can do that too, if that feels better for you. Up to you. So if you're lying down, if your knees are towards your chest, you can stay in that position. If they're not, you can bring your feet down to the ground. And we're going to sway the knees over towards one side. So you can just drop those knees down. You can try to keep your shoulders down onto the ground. Open up your arms into a T, drop down. If you're seated in a chair, we're just going to walk our feet over towards the right. And we're going to twist towards the front. We're coming into a twist. So you can pause in your twist. If you feel like you need to move side to side if you're on your backs, you can do that. You can keep moving the knees side to side if that feels better, or you can stay in your twist. And feel free to move your head in any direction that feels right. So at home, if you're in your twist, your knees are towards the right, and you're twisting your upper body to the front. And you're holding on to the chair. You can look towards the left a little bit more, or you can bring your head to center or look towards the right, up to you. Okay, so if you haven't moved your body over towards the other side, you can do so, or you can keep moving the knees. If you're on a chair, we're going to come back to center, and you're going to walk your feet over towards that left side. Get your feet down to tall, and then bring your upper body to face the front. So if you're on your back, your knees are either going side to side or they are staying over on the left side. And then when we've had enough of all that, we can come back to our center and you can take your final rest. So you can stretch out the legs and come into Savasana. Lean back in your chair if you want to. You can keep your knees bent and just allow the knees to fall towards each other in constructive rest. Up to you. You can, if you're on your back, you can use the blocks and the knee pads underneath you if that feels better in your body. And just allow yourselves to relax. Sometimes we need a little encouragement to relax. So sometimes it's nice, I like to do this, is just move through my body, reminding all my joints that they can soften, that they are allowed to relax. And remind my muscles to relax. Especially when you just go through the body, reminding all the different parts to relax them. Take time to rest. Don't forget to breathe. See if you can notice that the breath is starting to slow down. See if you can notice that the beating of the heart starting to relax. And we'll take a few more breaths. You're ready. Allow the breath to deepen. Bring a little bit of movement back into your bodies. And give yourself a little stretch. And bring yourself back into any seat that might be comfortable for you at this moment. And then close your eyes. Go back inwards again. Notice the way you're breathing. And then the next breath in, really feel your nostrils expanding. You accept the oxygen as it comes in. And then see if you can notice that oxygen traveling into the body, moving into the lungs. Maybe you can notice the diaphragm going down to expand. Pelvic floor expanding, softening to get as much oxygen in as you can. And then when you're exhaling, notice everything starting to move inwards towards your midline. The diaphragm comes up, pelvic floor starts to contract. The lungs start to squeeze. And the carbon dioxide leaves the body. Okay, and then take some time to reflect on your practice. What did you notice about the practice for you today? And it doesn't have to be a big thing. It could be that you're just more aware of something. Maybe you feel something a little bit different. Maybe you discovered something new about yourself. Doesn't have to be physical either. It can mean that, okay, I notice that my mind jumps out the window all the time. Okay, and then let's bring our arms up above our head, hands together, down towards the heart. Bow our heads and give gratitude. Give gratitude for the movement that we have today. That our minds are strong, our brains are strong. Give gratitude towards any intention that you had when you made your way to practice today. And give lots of gratitude towards yourself for showing up for yourself. And we'll finish with Om. Actually, let's do 3 Oms today. For the present, the past, and the future. Okay. Breathe in. Sigh it out. Breathe in for Om at your own pace. Namaste. Thank you, 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 thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.